Benvenuti. La cerimonia di consegna di Enchanted Princess inizia con un racconto che parla.
Welcome. The ceremony of delivery of Enchanted Princess begins with a story which goes back in time, before the keel laying, before the float out, before the outfitting, before the construction of the blocks, before matter, before the project itself. What was there?
Un sogno, un oggetto grande e magnifico. Cosa ha trasformato la sua visione in una realtà solida e concreta? Lo scopriremo insieme, grazie alle parole dei nostri ospiti. Proseguiamo perciò con la cerimonia, immersi nell'incanto.
In un viaggio fatto di tappe.
In a voyage made of stages, where the enchantment of an ambitious project turns into constant and excellent work done day by day, overcoming challenges and difficulties. Daniela D'Angelo undertook this voyage, and I would like to invite her to join on the stage. Good evening. Good evening to all of you, to our guests present in person, and to all my colleagues and those who are attending remotely. My name is Daniela D'Angelo, and I'm one of the cabin production supervisors. I'm Sicilian by birth. More specifically, I come from the Palermo hinterland. After graduating, my first job experiences were in the United States. Then I moved back to Italy, and early in March this year, I joined Finkantьери here at the Monfalcone shipyard. And that's how my job experience began. And I soon realized that this experience, also from a personal and human relationships point of view, it was going to be a particularly meaningful one. And sure enough, only a few days after I got the job, COVID-19 came along to disrupt our very existence, casting us all into one of the darkest periods of modern history. Finkantьери made what I believe was a brave and I guess not easy decision to halt all production activities. It shut down all the shipyards. And the company immediately focused on finding a way to deal with this new and in many ways unknown challenge. The lockdown marked a very particular moment in everyone's life. With so much time suddenly available, you start asking yourself so many questions about life, your values, even questioning the choices you made in the past that took you to live and work 1,500 kilometers away from home. And let me tell you, it was not easy to stay at home in a house I had just started inhabiting, in an area I had just started to get to know. But what I did is I bit the bullet real hard. And if I managed to come through, it was also because never once did I feel abandoned by the company that I had just joined, or by my colleagues whom I had just met and started hanging out with for only 2 weeks. Before that surreal period began. During the lockdown months, Finkantьери did something extraordinary, if not unique. Even for a person like myself, who had already had different experiences abroad, it was something that I would never have imagined could happen so fast and firmly. Finkantьери reinvented itself once again, and it did so while at the same time protecting its employees' health in every possible way, making those lockdown days even more important and significant. It used all the means that the difficult period imposed to convey a sense of safety and hope among its employees, helping us to adopt the necessary poised behavior with equanimity. To me, It felt like assurance at a time of bewilderment. As I was saying earlier, there is always a moment of reckoning in your life when you wonder if the path you've taken is truly the right one, or if the choices you've made make any sense at all. This is what happened to me, and today, more than ever, I'm convinced that my path of life, or my fate, if you wish, was bound to lead me to this company. Now, the sense of excitement you feel when you look at the jumpsuit you wear every day, well, there are no words that can describe it. When you experience the different stages of building a ship, when you are part of this process, you look at this beautiful ship and you feel that what you're seeing is actually your daughter taking her first steps, discovering the world, beginning to taste life, learning that certain achievements are possible only through commitment and hard work. She is a creature completing the stage in her life that will one day allow her to bear off safely and trace a course of her own. I honestly believe that all of this is amazing. It is something that you can truly understand only if you work at a company such as Finkantьери. Today, we are delivering Enchanted Princess to her owner, and she is the first ship to sail off since the beginning of the pandemic. In just a few hours, she will bear off from exactly the same spot as Crown Princess did 30 years ago, marking at that time the beginning of a splendid chapter in the 100-year-old history of this shipyard. She will be sailing away from the same dock as Royal Princess did 8 years ago, marking at that time, it was 2012, the revitalization of this shipyard and this company. Nothing ever happens by chance, and that is why today we sincerely hope that also Enchanted Princess, like her distinguished sisters, will stand out for the sun ray that shines to mark the end of these terrible months and the beginning of a new period of normality. Fair winds, Enchanted Princess. You might not be aware of this, but you made me stronger. Thank you.
Un pioniere crede fermamente in ciò che non esiste. Ci crede a tal punto che lo vede. Nella sua mente una semplice linea assume forme incantevoli. Diventa onda del mare e poi curva della proa. Oscilla tra i valori numerici, volteggia fra le eliche. Disegna progetti che innescano meccanismi straordinari e connette fili di pensieri in maniera del tutto nuova. Continuando a credere e lavorare, lo realizzerà. Questo è il lavoro di Finkantьери. Inseguire un'intuizione, realizzare una visione, con un impegno costante di persone, mezzi, capacità, in continua tensione verso l'eccellenza. Per dare vita all'incanto che tutti possiamo ammirare. Enchanted Princess, believe to see.
Invito ora sul
I would like to invite on stage the CEO of Finkantьери, Mr. Giuseppe Bono. Good evening. I would like to acknowledge our First Minister, who, despite the very many problems and issues he has to deal with, found time to participate also in our ceremony. I would like to acknowledge Mickey Harrison, Arnold Donald, Stein Cruz, Jan Schwartz, friends more than clients. We've known each other for so long. If I'm not mistaken, this is the 16th princess that we are delivering to this glorious brand. Now, I don't know whether our Prime Minister has to leave us, and so I would start right away by thanking our First Minister, Prime Minister, for guiding the country in a difficult time, and for doing so firmly, but also with farsightedness. We are connected with all the different shipyards of our group, so I would invite all of us to turn our thoughts to all the victims of this pandemic. I experienced this whole thing in great astonishment and surprise, because I was ready to believe anything, but not that a world where there's so much technology, a world that is moving towards artificial intelligence, and then it suffices to have one molecule and nobody knows where it came from to disrupt all of this. We have so many victims, and many of these people will probably still bear on our consciences, and this has given us maybe more strength to move towards the future. Dear Mr. Minister, so many times we hear people telling us that the young people need to go back and get a job and work. I've always said that working is something dignifying. Well, I was listening to what Mrs. D'Angelo said. She's a young woman, and I'm sure that we'll be successful. The young people are there. We need to accompany them. We need to make them strong for the future. And I believe that our industry, more than other industries, is the one that has been mostly hit by the effects of the pandemic. There are hundreds of ships that are moored in docks all over the world. Clients are leaving. Everybody is doing as much as possible to resist in this sector. And I believe that it is the duty of each and every one of us to give length to this industry, because otherwise we risk losing it for the 10 years that to come. And now instead is a time when we need to provide jobs to the young people. And you, Mr. Prime Minister, had the courage and sensitivity to allow cruises to be carried out in our country. The ship owners submitted a protocol that is working. Hopefully it would continue to work. And now it is our duty to make sure that we do everything in safe conditions. We have learned much about this virus, but we still don't know when it will hit. And so I have another request to make, Mr. Prime Minister. It's the very last one. We've made this request with our clients. We've done everything that was necessary to do to save our industry. Now we've got that last mile to go. And this is my request. And this is something that we feel is necessary for our clients so that they can safely overcome these difficulties. Let us not forget that they too are suffering from financial point of view because there are no clients, and because this means that they cannot hold true to the commitments they have undertaken and that they intend to honor for the future. Our system provides help to the cruise clients, has worked perfectly well so far, and there's this last mile that needs to be covered. And this is the request that I'm asking you, Mr. Prime Minister. Let's do yet this effort that is left to do, and let us save one of the most important industries of the world. We've done our bit. We're still doing so. And I believe that so far we've managed to safeguard all the orders in our logbook, and therefore, with your help, I know that the CEO of SACE is here with us. Let us do what needs to be done. Let us not be afraid of the future. It is better to risk today and have a future rather than not risk and have no future. I firmly believe that my sincere appeal will be accepted by you, like many other appeals. I have always had attention from the President of the Council, and he has also very many times comforted me. Sometimes I felt really alone and lonely. And you know, every time a company is successful, then that's when the hard times begin, because that's when people become jealous. Well, so thank you, Mr. President, also for this. I assure you, we are handing you a vital company, a company that right now in this shipyard alone, over 7,000 people working. I believe that Monfalcone is job concentration, the biggest job concentration you can find in the country. We will fare well with our own resources, with our own means, with our own people. I was listening to the words of our young employee, and I was deeply moved because she really believes that she has finally landed in the ideal company. And also abroad, we receive awards because we are one of the most attractive companies in the world. And this is the result of the passion and determination of all our collaborators and workers. And it is this passion and this hard work that I myself have always tried to disseminate among our employees. First and foremost, we have the people, mankind as a whole. Without the men and women, steel alone cannot do miracles. It is the people who do miracles. This is what I wanted to stress. And I believe that this is the most important thing. During the lockdown period, we managed to achieve many important things. We are among the companies that mostly innovated its practices so that we would be ready from an organizational point of view to face any kind of situation and not suffer from devastating impacts. As I said earlier on, there are only in this shipyard alone, there are 7,000 employees. And to the clients who are long-standing friends, we have done a lot of innovation during these past months. We will continue to present some extremely significant innovations that will allow us to have the certification of our air conditioning systems. We are inventing a lot of things with the help of a multitude of small Italian companies, which, however, have some extremely excellent products. We have another goal for the country. For these companies, we want to unify them, join us, so that they can grow and develop new products and systems so that they can sell them all over the world with an added value that is even greater than the one that they managed to achieve by selling only one component. All of this, in my opinion, is an indication of what the country will have to do in the future. Usually, we talk only about money. We need to talk about what the things that need to be done. Then we'll have time to spend money. But if we do not have a clear idea of what we need to do, then maybe we'll be wasting the very last opportunity that we have for the country to actually have a bright future. Bright for everyone, for families, first of all, and for also our fellow citizens, for those who are guests here, and also for the foreigners who live in our country. I don't know what to add. If not that, the name is beautiful. I think that when you conceived the name of this ship, whoever conceived it did not imagine that the ship would be delivered in such a sad moment. But this is an enchanted princess. It's a fairy tale that has come true. Captain Nash, Captain Arma, I turn to you because I know that all of you probably recognize one of the captains who had a very terrible experience on board his ship in Yokohama in Japan. And with a lot of patience, on that occasion too, the situation was solved and overcome. So let me close by saying, Mr. Prime Minister, let us move down that last mile. Let us give the possibility of to our companies and our clients to be resilient. Let us deal with this period without further damages that probably break down this sector. This sector employs millions of people, takes millions of people all over the world. We build ships. We know that this is so. And as you clearly know, Mr. President, nobody believed in what we wanted to do. And we proved right. We proved that we're ready to supply the country with all the necessary skills and competencies needed to be able to do the work that the country needs. What can we offer? We offer a building and organizational capacity that has no equal, because we are ready to manufacture products that have no equals worldwide. And to do so, we need to set up a process that is the most complex one in the world. So we are not afraid of anything, because we have the ability to organize everything. Everything. Now, of course, we don't have the ability to come up with a vaccine, but we can do very many other things. When it comes to large and complex works, we are there and we are at the service of the country. Thank you. I really would like to thank also our clients. Special acknowledgement and greetings to Mickey Arison and to our president, to whom, on behalf of everyone, also on behalf of my own president, Ambassador Massolo, we thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. Thank you for everything that you've done so far. And thank you also for what we surely know that you will do in the future.
Siamo in attesa. Tra qualche secondo arriverà. Vai.
Okay. Ringraziamo Giuseppe Bono per le...
Thank you, Mr. Bono, for your encouraging words. And I take this opportunity to once again welcome our guests and those who are following us in streaming, but this time to do so in person from the stage. Good evening, one and all. Now, our next connection embraces the whole of Italy, a country that this year more than ever has demonstrated faith and courage. So we are connected in Rome, with Rome, live from Rome. We're pleased to welcome the President of the Italian Council of Ministers, Giuseppe Conte. It will take a couple of seconds to get the connection through. This is the nice part of live broadcasting. Now, this year has made all of us quite resilient indeed, so please be patient for another couple of seconds while we wait for the connection.
Come va? State partecipando con lo streaming?
What about the other shipyards from the other shipyards? Can you hear us? Are you connected in streaming? Marghera, are you there? Muggiano. We can see also the shipyard in Ancona. The Castellammare di Sabbia shipyard. Can you hear us? Yes. Okay, good. Thank you. Palermo shipyard. Present? Are you there? Yes, thank you. Now we can even see you. What about Monfalcone? Can you hear us? Very well then. I can see that you're already sitting in the front row. What about Marghera? A Marghera shipyard. Yes, can you hear us? Yes. Very well then, thank you. I don't remember whether Muggiano is connected. Muggiano, can you hear us? We can see you, but can you hear us? Yes. Raise your hands. Yes, thank you. Is everything okay down in Muggiano? Are you excited? What about Riva Trigoso? Not as excited as the others from Riva Trigoso, I'd say. Okay, okay, that's great. Thank you. Yes, this is the kind of energy we need. Please be patient for another couple of seconds, getting the connection through with our Prime Minister.
Ok, allora parlerò con Marghera perché...
Okay, while we're waiting, I'll just have a chat with Marghera in the Veneto region, which is, by the way, the region where I come from originally. And can you hear us? Does anyone want to say something? Yes, I can see some people nodding their heads. Well, first of all, how are you? Yes, I am the director of the Marghera shipyard. Well, thank you. Congratulations to Monfalcone for the delivery. I have to interrupt you, I'm sorry, because we now have the connection with our Prime Minister, so I'm sorry for interrupting, but I need to do so. Here I am, says our Prime Minister. Good evening. Good evening, Mr. Prime Minister. I really apologize for the delay, but I was attending another meeting. But I had promised I would be here for you on the occasion of the delivery of this new ship, Enchanted Princess. So we're celebrating the delivery of a ship that has been built in one of our shipyards at a very difficult time, not only nationally but also internationally from an economic and social point of view because of the pandemic. But this company manages to demonstrate great resilience, great ability to diversify, and this is a reason for pride. And also because Mr. Prime Minister is asking whether we can hear him. Yes, we can hear you. on and off, but we can hear you. So as I was saying, it's a company that fills me with pride. Because every time I go abroad and we talk about this industry, the word and the name Fincantieri comes up. So as I was saying, very often in other meetings, even recent meetings, we've spoken a lot about Fincantieri, also in meetings held in the United States. And mention is always made of the resilience that it was capable of demonstrating in these difficult times. Unfortunately, the connection is very poor. I want to say, says the Prime Minister, that there are signs of recovery of the cruising sector, and we decided to open up and allow for cruises to be carried out, provided all the safety measures were set in place. And therefore, this delivery ceremony confirms an enormous resilience and also its confirmation of our support to the cruise sector, because it is undoubtedly one of the industries that has mostly suffered from the pandemic and will continue to suffer. In particular, I would like to acknowledge and greet all the workers of the Monfalcone shipyard and also would like to greet all the top management of Fincantieri. I also would like to acknowledge the representatives of the ship owners company, and thank you for appreciating Italian excellences. I do not want to use up all your time. I would like to greet you once again, invite you to continue to work with great attention, observing all the safety rules, especially in this phase of the pandemic. It is not over yet. We need to be continuously careful. So please respect all the precautionary measures. And soon we'll be able to go back to normality. Again, I would like to repeat, you have demonstrated great resilience, great capacity in this sense, and hopefully we'll be able to recover our economic growth, and also we'll be able to grow in terms of sustainable development. In the past 20 years, Italy has done well, very well in this sense. We work strongly, hardly, and with resilience and with great responsibility. I best of wishes to all of you. Thank you very much, Mr. Prime Minister, for your kind words and for expressing your trust in the company and in every worker of this company. It is always a great honor to listen to kind words such as yours, stressing the notion of resilience. It was a pleasure. Thank you. Now, this is a very significant moment for our for Fincantieri, and because there is a very strong sense of belonging in this company, and it's something that we should never forget. I apologize for some technical problems we've had. The audio was not very good. We are connected also with the United States, very different countries, different authorities. And unfortunately, this is what happens when you go live. Now, once again, I'm going to ask you, are you all well? I can see you're looking good. Keeping social distancing. It is always very unusual to see places where we have people meeting and sitting so far apart one from the other, but I'm glad that you made it to come here tonight. Now we have a live connection with the United States, and I give the floor to the Chief Executive Officer of Carnival Corporation, Mr. Arnold Donald.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today, both the shipyard and virtually by video from around the world. I wish we could all be together to celebrate it. However, I'm really pleased and grateful that we're able to connect way to celebrate the delivery of Enchanted Princess to our Princess Cruises brand. Stein, Jan, congratulations to a spectacular to our world-class fleet. You know, pushing boundaries and
Mr. Donald, can you hear us?
Yes. Yes, I can hear you.
Sì, vi sento.
Yes, I can hear you. Yes. Can you hear me?
Voi mi sentite, dice il signor Donald? La risposta è sì. Quindi quando vuole lei, la parola è sua.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Adesso mi sentite un po' meglio?
Testing, 1, 2.
Prova, 1, 2.
Okay, good.
Bene,
Alrighty. So
perfetto.
good evening, everyone.
Quindi
Thank
buonasera
you for
a
joining
tutti.
us today.
Intanto vi ringrazio per essere qui con noi, chi in cantiere in persona e chi virtualmente in videocollegamento.
From around the world. I wish we could all be together to celebrate today. However, I'm pleased and grateful that we are able to connect in this way to celebrate the delivery of Enchanted Princess to our Princess Cruises brand. Stein, Jan, congratulations to a spectacular addition to our world-class fleet. You know, pushing boundaries and operating with leading-edge thinking has been a hallmark of the partnership between our two companies for many years. Today is particularly special because this ship represents new build number 100 for Finkantьери. The majority of those ships being corporation ships. Huge congratulations. Carnival Corporation is very proud to have been with you since the beginning in this phase of your amazing history. Our long-standing partnership began when Crown Princess was the first ship to launch Finkantьери into the modern passenger shipbuilding business. It was first delivered in 1990. In the 30 years since that first ship delivery, our collaboration and pursuit of innovation has introduced many advancements and industry firsts. Together, we have driven safety, operations, and guest experience to new levels for cruise ship building globally. Gathering here today for the launch of Enchanted Princess helps us to focus on the joy that sailing the oceans brings to millions of guests each year. It also reminds us of the vast numbers of people whose careers and livelihoods depend on the maritime industry and who have been affected by the global pandemic. This includes so many Italians, both the highly skilled craftspeople employed through our shipbuilding partnership with Finkantьери and its suppliers, exceeding well over 100,000 people, and the many, many Italian members of our shipboard crew and shoreside staffs who help bring these wonderful ships to life every day. Now, we are facing extremely challenging times within our industry, and it's critical to work together to ensure that we all emerge successfully. Now, since the beginning of the pandemic, many of our stakeholders have been very supportive. However, in recent months, and in the spirit of total transparency, and understood in Italy as well as we would like. Now, we feel the responsibility is on us to communicate more effectively, and we feel it's important that we do so that we can continue to contribute of jobs in Italy. Now, more than ever, we need to strengthen the economic impact of our global partnerships to help ensure a bright future. And I would like to specifically thank Fincantieri Chairman Gianpiero Massolo and CEO Giuseppe Bono for their continued support in these unprecedented times. Equally, we need the support of all key stakeholders in Italy. You know, as one of the leading shipbuilders in the world, and with a consistent focus on safety and excellence, Fincantieri was one of the first businesses in Italy to reopen after the emergence of COVID-19. In fact, it has been an important engine in getting the economy going again. For that, we congratulate you. As President and CEO of Carnival Corporation, I'd like to acknowledge and thank Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte for being present today. With more than 70 Fincantieri ships across our fleets, we are proud that Carnival Corporation has been one of the largest foreign investors in the Italian economy. In fact, we have invested more than 30 billion euros in shipbuilding with Fincantieri over these past 30 years. And while this global pandemic may have separated us physically over the past few months, it has brought us together as an industry closer than ever as we recognize our need to support each other. We must continue to partner at all levels and across all private and public stakeholder groups, not to simply apply past principles, but to implement new approaches that will efficiently and expediently secure the financial success of this industry for the future. That we can maintain the vitality of the shipbuilding industry in Italy and the many, many jobs associated with it, as well as the prominence of Italian craftsmanship on the world stage. We thank you, Prime Minister, and your government for your attention and your ongoing support of this collective goal. Finally, thanks to each of you for your role in delivering Enchanted Princess. And a sincere thank you to our partner, Giuseppe, and his management team. We appreciate your dedication to your company and our industry and all you continue to do to keep the tradition of Italian shipbuilding vibrant and strong. We look forward to celebrating many more happy times together. I wish I was there in person to celebrate with you. Again, congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Donald, for your heartfelt words.
Signor Donald.
Thank you very much. And now, da Seattle, ci raggiunge in collegamento the Group CEO, Holland American Group e Carnival UK.
To the Group CEO of Holland America Group and Carnival UK, Mr. Stijn Cruz.
This fifth Royal Class ship, under what clearly were among the most challenging circumstances we probably ever faced in a new build project. We're all living in a changed world with the global COVID-19 pandemic. We've seen firsthand the effects that this virus has had on our industry. Yet we remain optimistic for our safe return to service. And today, we embrace that optimism for a successful future. The Monfalcone shipyard remained closed for nearly 6 weeks due to the public health lockdown in Italy. And while this celebration is slightly delayed from when it was originally scheduled back in June, the unique skill of Finkantьери and the shared commitment to success between our companies helped us overcome the challenges in our path. The team building Enchanted, and in fact all ships construction, had to return to work under totally new protocols that impacted how they interacted with their coworkers. We're so proud of how you handled this unknown situation, putting dedicated resources and procedures in place while ensuring a safe environment despite the uncertainties. In order to make certain thousands of yard workers felt comfortable coming back to work, you implemented a staggered work structure, adjusting shifts, dining, and workplace arrangements to maintain safe distances and avoid gatherings of large groups. This clearly worked. We continued to innovate and adjust to complete the work required at a faster pace than on previous vessels, and did it more efficiently, while never compromising on safety or the well-being of everyone involved. Just one example, Enchanted Princess went out for sea trials under new regulations put in place due to COVID-19. Only critical technical experts were invited to put the ship through its paces and checked all safety and technical systems. To just 400 created an opportunity to rethink how the work was completed. Finkantьери and our onboard team performed sea trials for 3 days as the ship sailed to Palermo, then sea trials journey back to Monfalcone. This new schedule was so successful that it probably will be a precedent likely set for the future. Like Arnold said, we certainly wish we could all be there in person today to admire the beauty of Enchanted Princess and to personally thank all our partners at Finkantьери around Italy. But I'm grateful for the opportunity to join you virtually, and I send my appreciation to so many people for their immeasurable contributions in making today possible. So, on behalf of Carnival Corporation, Holland America Group, everyone involved, I would like to thank the entire Monfalcone Yard management for their resilience under the esteemed and experienced leadership of Yard Director Roberto Olivari. Thank you, Roberto. And we also thank the Finkantьери project management team in the Trieste Technical Office under the leadership of Fabio Russian. Thank you, gentlemen. And it's appropriate to send thanks to our Senior Vice President of Carnival Corporate Shipbuilding, Bo Erik Blomqvist, and the Yard Build Manager, Simone Parisi, as well as our Vice President of New Builds, Cyril Tatar. Thank you as well, gentlemen. And while he has left our organization earlier this year, I would be remiss if I personally did not acknowledge Mr. Ray Kaluri, who was instrumental driving the design of this class of ships for Princess Cruises, as well as doing so for so many others in the Princess fleet over his 35-year career with our company. Thank you, Ray. Recognize and say thanks to everyone who assisted from the Lloyd's Register and the
Bermuda. Grazie.
So, with sincere thanks to everyone involved, I pass the comments to Jan Swartz, the president of Princess Cruises, to add her gratitude. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cruz, for your encouraging speech. Siamo in diretta live, c'è sempre qualche piccolo
live streaming
tecnico.
And live broadcasting, there's always some technical issues. And I really would like to welcome the group president of Princess Cruise and Carnival Australia, Ms. Jan Swartz.
Greetings from Princess Headquarters in Santa Clarita, California. I'm so very proud of everyone involved in delivering our newest ship, Enchanted Princess. I really wish I could be there in person. We are reaching this milestone at a time that is marked by significant challenges, great uncertainty, and the uncharted waters of this global pandemic that we're all navigating together. But in the words of Albert Einstein, in the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. And Enchanted Princess represents the opportunity of our future at Princess. Thousands of talented individuals have labored through adversity to bring us to this day. And I would love to recognize each and every person for their contributions. However, with over 6,000 people having a role in bringing this ship to life, that might take us well into the evening. I thought I'd share just one story that truly represented for me of the entire team. As Arnold mentioned earlier, one of the amazing things about Enchanted Princess is that she is the 100th passenger ship that has been built by Finkantьери, with our very own Crown Princess being the first. So we have a long tradition of celebrating in milestones together. Marco Beccaria, who is the head of production of hull and outfitting in Monfalcone, recognized an opportunity to create a new milestone. And with passion and purpose, he and his team helped us achieve a significant Princess first while creating this beautiful 100th ship. Marco's remit was to oversee the installation of the advanced air quality system on board. Marco was eager to support our commitment to the environment, so simply installing it wasn't enough. He also helped us complete the commissioning so the system could be certified for delivery, making this the first time a Princess new build has come out of the shipyard with the AAQS fully ready for use. So Marco, we applaud your valiant efforts to achieve this important environmental milestone for Princess Cruises. Just like the sea trials innovation Stein spoke about earlier, your work has set a new bar for our upcoming new builds. We thank you and we celebrate this accomplishment. In some respect, Enchanted Princess has had heroes looking out for her since the earliest days of her build. Our madrina of Enchanted Princess is Doris Ho, President and CEO of Magsaysay Group in the Philippines. It is one of the largest human resource companies in the Asia-Pacific region, if not the world. Similar to our relationship with Finkantьери, we have a deep and long-standing partnership with Magsaysay. They have helped us recruit, train, and develop thousands of Princess teammates throughout the years. And like the colleagues I've already spoken about today, Doris has also shown great strength and support throughout this global pandemic. When our operations paused, she and the team went to extraordinary lengths to support our efforts to repatriate thousands of teammates. She exemplifies the Princess spirit, and we're so proud she's part of Enchanted Princess as our madrina. We're also thankful to Mickey Arison, Arnold Donald, Stein Cruz, and the entire Carnival Corporation Board of Directors for their unwavering support of Princess Cruises and our team. In addition, our company's new build teams have worked tirelessly to make sure each detail of Enchanted Princess is remarkable. And a special thanks goes to our dedicated Director of New Builds, Mal, who always manages to do it right despite the challenges that come. I also thank Antonio and his media relations team, as well as Claudio Galboa, Verna Tafuro, Veronica Pitaco, and their exceptional events team for planning today's ceremony, which was quite complex. It took the full combined efforts of Finkantьери, Holland America Group, Princess, GXI, and Carnival Corporation Shipbuilding to deliver this beautiful vessel. A moment of pride for all we have accomplished together. I echo Stein's sentiment that Enchanted Princess represents the promise of our future. The ship is filled with amenities and experiences that Princess is known for throughout the industry, like our sanctuary, our adults-only relaxation area, and our signature soaring piazza, which is always a hub of activity. It also features our proprietary smart ship technology, Medallion Class, which takes service and personal experience to an entirely new level. While the first few months of Enchanted Princess on board will be quite different from the usual activity of getting a new ship underway, the heart and soul of the ship are always its team. They will be easing her into service, and they will take great care of her before she hopefully welcomes guests within a couple of months to enjoy all this beautiful ship has to offer. Leading that effort for us is Captain Nick Nash. Nick successfully elevated through the Princess ranks over his 30-year career, becoming a captain in 2002 and a fleet captain in 2014. He was also actively involved in the evolution of the Carnival Corporation Arison Maritime Center, or CSMART, our training facility in Amsterdam. With his long-standing tenure and utmost focus on the safety and well-being of our guests and teammates in his care, we know Enchanted Princess is in great hands. And that's also why I feel there is no better moment than right now, the first time that Captain Nash is officially promoted to be the next Commodore of the Princess Cruises Global Fleet. As you know, the title of Commodore is a service record. The position is the highest rank attainable in our Princess fleet. So with the recent retirement of Commodore Giorgio Pomada, Nick will assume the responsibility of representing the interests of all Princess ships and captains. Helping me out today with a special surprise delivery is our Vice President of New Builds, Cyril Tatar, who is there with you. Cyril will be presenting an important symbol, Nick, of your new position, your Commodore uniform stripes. All of us at Princess Cruises send our sincerest congratulations to you, Commodore Nash, on this well-deserved appointment.
Good. Captain, please proceed to the stage, Captain Nash.
Thank you, Cyril and Commodore Nash. And in an embarrassment of riches, when Commodore Nash isn't at the helm of Enchanted Princess, Captain Gennaro Arma will be in command. I know he is quite recognized there in Italy. A proud Italian, Captain Arma successfully led his team of gladiators through an unimaginable period on board Diamond Princess at the beginning of this global pandemic, when very little was known about COVID-19 and the world was just beginning to understand the powerful toll it would have on so many lives. With his signature humility and grace, Captain Arma did everything in his power to lift the spirits of all on board and keep them safe during a very challenging period and quarantine. Commodore Nash and Captain Arma are a great team to bring the ship into service and look after her. Finkantьeri shares the princess spirit of delivering the highest level of excellence. And we know you will also share in our enthusiasm and pride when the ship welcomes its first. I'm sure this wonderful vessel will help us create memories they will cherish for a lifetime. Until then, I hope you and your families remain safe and healthy. And I look forward to a bright future ahead, connecting our guests to new places, people, and cultures all over this beautiful world.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. It's an honor. Thank you.
Congratulations, Commodore Nash, for your promotion. Thank you, Mr. Tatar, and thank you so much, Mrs. Swartz, for joining us today. Siamo giunti ora a un momento.
So, this brings us to a traditional and symbolic moment, the change of flag, a traditional ceremony.
Questo emozionante
And now, as per tradition, I would like to welcome the director of the shipyard, Mr. Roberto Olivare, and Captain Nick Nash. And I invite you to join me here on stage for the exchange of the bottle containing the very first water that touched the hull of the day on the day of the float out. The bottle is entrusted to the captain, who will guard it with loving care on board the ship as a precious and well-wishing gift. Questa è la...
And the fire window. Thank you, Director Olivari. Thank you for this enchanting gift of our very own virgin-blessed dock water. It will always be a part of us, Fincantieri, and Italy. Mr. Prime Minister, Chief Executives, Ministers, and Director, honoured guests, families, and of course, the Enchanted Princess crew. I would like to add my own thanks and appreciation for the 100th and most beautifully and technically advanced and, of course, enchanting ship built by Fincantieri. From a virtual ship built by WhatsApp in the critical owner last stages to reality, and wow, what a ship. The Latin root incantere, enchanted, means cast a spell on. If you're so captivated by something like stunning pictures in an exhibition or even on board that you may as well be under a fairy tale spell, you're enchanted. Charming actors in the old movies often used to say enchanted after being introduced to a dazzling person, and she will be. I'm delighted, enchanted to be her captain, along with Gladiator Captain Gennaro Armour, and welcome you all to share the experience of bringing into service the latest addition to the Princess fleet. As with all new ships, we will face our challenges, even more so at present, and will rely heavily on each other, our shore teams around the world, and of course, Fincantieri's after-sale care to ensure that we make Princess ready an enchanted spell happen again. As a new team, our commitment must be to each other, particularly in these difficult times, getting the ship fully ready, materially and operationally, to the environment and our future guests and fellow crew. This will be fully ready along with Ocean Medallion and other innovations to spellbind our guests. And I would like to end with a slight adjustment to a quote I found on Google. The lesson of all this was, of course, that because we are a great company, our challenges seem complex. It will always be this way. But as long as we remember our first principles and believe in ourselves, the future will always be ours. And something else we learned: once you begin a great movement, there is no telling where it will end. We meant to change a company. Instead, we changed an industry. And as we sail away tomorrow, Hope Enchanted waved her golden hair and smiled on the threshold of a year to come, whispering that it will be happier. We remain one world enchanted. Thank you, and thank you very much. Buonasera a tutti.
Good evening to all the guests. I wanted to hinge upon what Mr. Bono said earlier on, focusing on people. To us, this delivery is something extremely special and very different from other delivery ceremonies. I would like to celebrate together with you the people who have made all of this possible. Enchanted Princess was the very first ship to sail in the sea in June after long lockdown, and it's the very first ship to be delivered after reopening activities in our shipyard. It was very demanding, and therefore I want to express special thanks to all the workers of our shipyards, the suppliers, and special thanks to all of you for following us, for listening to what we were saying, and for setting in place all the necessary procedures demanded by the COVID-19 emergency. I would like to thank all the production team, our supervisors, our chief officers and workers, guided by Mr. Bardolini, for the exceptional work carried out in a very complicated situation. I would like to thank all our collaborators, closer collaborators, human services, human resources, all the people from the production side, the production control, management control people, all our colleagues from the auxiliary, production auxiliary departments and divisions, human resources, office, maintenance, canteen, and of course, those who protect us, the safety team, the security team, the fire brigade team. I would like to tell to Ms. Bono, these are people who are capable of solving any kind of situation and any kind of problem, and they can teach the people, those who will come after us, how to do the job properly. I really would like to thank also all the colleagues from the Trieste offices and headquarters who continue to support us every day. General Planning Office, Central Technical Office, Project Management Group headed by Mr. Russian. Thank you for all you have done. Thank you, Mr. Villani. Sincere thanks also to Mr. Pirisi and all the CCS inspectors, project management Fiedelsman, who have accompanied us and enabled us to reach a level of quality that has 0 faults and defects. Congratulations. You did an exceptional job. I now would like to thank all the members of the COVID crisis team headed by our central office. They are connected with us today from the other shipyards, the directors of shipyards and the closer collaborators. During the lockdown, we shared very many video conferences to plan and set in place all the necessary measures so that we could start activity, resume activity at the end of May. Thank you for all the hard work done. And last but not least, I would like to thank the Prevention Department of SUGI for providing the assistance necessary from a medical point of view so that we could open safely after the lockdown period. Captain Mash, I would like to thank you for your Officer Di Martino and all the collaboration you showed in preparing the ship for its delivery. Comandante, siamo arrivati alla fine e a nome di tutti vi auguro buon vento. Thank you, Mr. Olivare. Thank you, Captain Nash, for your kind words. Now, our ceremony is coming to an end. I would like to thank Princess Cruises for being with us and for making this event possible. I would like to thank all the authorities here in person and those who have connected in remote mode. And thank you, guests here in person, and for those of you who have followed us in live streaming. Special greetings go to President Massolo, who was in Rome, now offices in Rome. Thank you for participating in this extraordinary day and event. Now the time has come to have proof